Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and recap Friday's price action in this video. We're going to be looking at the SPY 5-minute chart, and I'm going to use the replay function to walk us through the price action. I'll give some general thoughts on, my analysis, and as well as all the indicator signals, where you would enter, where you would exit, and where you should take a stop loss if it does turn against you before you hit your target. So first, I'm going to go ahead and hit this replay button, and I'm going to take us back into pre-market. So what's nice is when you use this replay function in TradingView, everything's going to adjust as if that was the actual time, meaning our zones are going to be, they're representative of the point in time, right? So previous day supply is referring to the day right before it here, and then 2 days prior, if we look at a couple of days back, you see that supply zone comes from there. Anyway, the first signal that we're going to talk about is right here in pre-market. Now, I don't trade pre-market. If I do take anything, it's going to be in, in futures, but you can see we did get this PR candle. If you take a look at the support that PR candle is sitting on, you have this nice demand zone formed here intraday. We wicked off of that, and then we got the PR signal. Now, this was at 8:25 Eastern. We did have what looks to be, I'm not sure if that's a news candle. It looks to be based on the volume here, but we did have a huge push up with no drawdown before we had this reversal. So actually, if you entered this on ES or whatever you had, we made a massive move from 507 to 509 before we had any kind of pullback, and we pulled back and we closed here at 508. So pretty cool that PR caught that. Obviously it does not, if it's based in news, it has nothing to do with that, but it's still cool to see. Anyway, let's talk about the actual price movement during the day. So here we go. We open up, we pull back into this 2-day prior demand zone. Again, I want to clarify it's labeled as supply because it acted as supply, but if we have a zone to the bottom here, obviously it's acting as support / demand in the, as price is developing. So here, this is actually not the first candle of the day, but in the next candle, we do end up retesting that same level, right? We wick through it, we even hit pre-market low, we get buying pressure, and we close above this auto support here. So this is a tweezer bottom, which obviously hindsight is 2020, but this will end up being essentially the bottom for the day. But you can see that we bounce off this demand pre-market level. We pull back, and you see that we tap, but we do not break through this supply zone here. Okay, no surprise, we pull back. So you could have taken that short with a stop above supply, but we do pull back here and close right on VWAP and the 9 EMA there. Right, we try and push into the zone again, and we get we don't have any top wick here, right? So what I'm seeing is a potential bull flag. Now, I'm not going to take a bull flag entry here just because, again, our volume is not significant, right? It's not a big spike in volume on this attempt here. We haven't actually broken out of this supply zone or closed above it, but we have this nice formation that shows us we could get some continuation to the upside, and so we wait on that, and then we get our buy signal. Okay, so we have a long signal here, right? There's the long signal. It's a bullish engulfing candle. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It is a breakout. Now, if we take a look at pre-market levels, we can immediately see that this is probably the level if you're taking a scalp and you want to reduce your risk and get a nice scalp here, right, from 508 to like 508.42, which is a nice little gain. I would hop in here with a stop below this demand zone, looking for a quick move up to this level, and if that level holds, we can see some continuation. All right, we get a nice little pullback. Right, lower volume on this pullback, leading me that this could form a flag here, and then we pull back, boom, and then there is where you want to take your profits. So you can see we break out, close above this resistance that was formed here in pre-market, and we have a nice big move here from our entry, take profits. Now we are above this area, right? We have above this support level, which it was resistance, now it's support. So if you want to hold a little bit longer, see if we get a retest, if we close back above this level, we might get another push up. There is a pullback candle here, which is a little scary, but again, it's on decreased volume, and I care about candle closes. We tapped the EMAs, huge bounce here, closed above, and we didn't really have any downward. We didn't really close much below where we actually opened or closed on the last candle. Sorry, having some speaking problems here. So I would expect a little bit of a push to the upside, and there we go. And this is where I exited all of my position. I don't want to hold any longer. Now you'll see that we actually end up, getting to pre-market high, but there is a big pullback here, and we consolidate a little bit above this level, and then we end up making our way to pre-market high. So for me, what's important is the reason I took profits early on here is because this move happened in 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes from our entry, right? So time is of the essence when you're playing 0 DTE contracts, and so yeah, we did end up up here, which is a little bit higher when we hit pre-market high, which would have been a good area that definitely would have taken all profits, but it took an additional 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 minutes to get there, so I think the contracts were not worth much more than when I took profits here. Anyway, you can see pre-market high is a strong resistance. You saw the pushback we had earlier in the day. You see we rejected on this inverted hammer candle on some volume. So again, here is where I would expect, and I did make a tweet, I would get out here. I could expect a pushback down, right? We're looking for a pushback to this support level in the EMA clouds. If we break through that, we could see a movement to VWAP. And there you go. Push into VWAP. VWAP holds, see a little bottom wick there that could indicate buyers are stepping in. Again, retest of VWAP and hold, and then we continue our way up. Okay, this is a good sign. I would expect, based on the candle here, I would probably expect us to push back and retest this resistance level here formed by the candle bodies. PR. That PR is the confirmation. You see that in the PR right there. So what's nice about this PR is let's take a look, right? So we pulled back and we held this support level how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? And the third time here, right in the middle, is where this PR fired, okay? It's very easy to determine your risk to reward on this one, right? So the typical risk to reward is you want to close out if we get below the bottom wick here. But if you want to be more conservative, you can see that you could use this area as your stop loss because it's a support and EMA cloud convergence, right? So we have basically double support sitting here, and you see how these candles are responding to this. Look at the bottom wicks on all of these, way more size on the bottom wicks than relative to the bodies, and we're just getting a push up and we're riding the EMA cloud. So again, if you enter right on there, you're looking for a push back up to that same resistance level, and there it is, right? Beautiful PR. 5 of 6 of these candles were green after that PR, so nice push into pre-market high. We did close slightly above pre-market high, so we could see some continuation back to high of day, and there it is. All right, so at this point, I was not in anything long. I was kind of just watching. You see we are basing above pre-market high. Starting to see some top wicks here. Might be looking a little heavy. Okay, we got a retest of pre-market high in the EMA cloud. But again, we are, we had a big push up here. I was not looking at any more trades. Just sitting here and waiting. Look at this resistance. So what I like to do is I'll observe these things happening throughout the day. I'm seeing this supply start to form here. Call it resistance, call it supply, whatever you want. But you can see that we have a lot of trouble getting past this area. So what you can do here is I'm not going to take any longs unless we break out and close above this area with volume, right? And we can expect, if we can't get through the zone, another pushback down to support or pre-market high. Again, look at that. See how that failed. Back to pre-market high. And actually, I think we closed below it here, so we could see some more downside. Bear flag. Oh, that looks heavy. And we get a short signal. All right, so short signal. Where do we want to take our profits? Well, let's take a look at our support levels down, right? So that was a terrible voice crack. So if we take a look here, we can draw a strong level of support there. And I'm seeing support here as well, right? So I'm really looking for a scalp to the way down there. My stop here is going to be this double resistance level we have plotted, and let's see how this plays out. Oh, there you go. So short signal is good. We tap both of those supports. I'm going to see here if we get a bounce on the support or if we make our way back down to VWAP. Bounce there. Okay. Looks like another good potential short opportunity, and I'll tell you why. Now the volume has dried up here on this these two candles relative to this bullish engulfing, so I'd be very careful. But this double rejection of pre-market high as well as these two resistance areas and the EMA cloud leads me to believe that if you enter on this candle, you'll probably get a retest of this support level. Here we go. Retest and then huge bounce off that support level. Back above pre-market high, and we get a long signal. All right, this long signal, let's take a look at our next level of resistance. Right. So right here, there's not much to go, right? Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's take this arrow here. This area of resistance right? 4 times we could not break through it. We broke out above it. It acted as support, and then we broke down below it again. So there's not much room to go on this long signal. I mean, I would probably say up here, if we break out, if we close above this level, I would say maybe continuation back into supply, but probably not going to get, I mean, those are really the 2 scalp targets I'm looking at there. Right, the EMA cloud and pre-market high is our stop, and that held. Okay, we got the first target there. Oh man, off by that area by a few cents, 3 cents. Anyway, so, and at this point, definitely get out of your position here. So if I were to still be in this position from this long signal, I would sell here. Let's take a look at why, right? So this double resistance area, right? We dump below it, we close below the EMA cloud, and then we close below pre-market high after retesting the EMA clouds. And look at the volume on this, right? So that doesn't look too promising for a long signal there, so I would be out and get a short signal here. So we did touch VWAP, so I don't like to take these, right? Because you see what happened last time we tapped VWAP, we kind of reversed a little bit, so I would be careful. If you want to scalp this really quick, I would say just usually what works is a scalp back to VWAP before we bounce again. So, all right, push back down a little bit, back up here. You could use this area as your stop, and it looks like we're forming a bear flag. You can see the volume is pretty crazy because this is towards the end of the day, and typically I don't like to trade here, but you'll see that it looks like we could continue with the sell-off back to VWAP. Sorry, I'm marking up my chart quite a bit. And there you go. So this was actually, if you had the balls to hold because it was power hour, they would have kind of scared you a little bit, but actually it ended up being a push down below VWAP to close the day, and we didn't actually get above any of the EMAs. So there you go, guys. That was another breakdown video. I know these are pretty long because I go through quite a bit of things that are going on here, but that's just how I interpret price action. I'm very much a scalper using high levels of conviction, and hopefully that lets you see my thought process throughout the day. I'll tell you the main opportunities were here, right? When we got that long signal, pulled back, rejected pre-market, hit VWAP, got the PR, and then could have taken that PR all the way back to high of day. And then here it's a little bit more choppy, so you'll see you get little small scalp opportunities off those signals, but this was the bulk of the move. Hopefully you guys caught that, and I'll see you Monday.